Hello everyone, it's me, Otherworldly, and I will talk about the second trip on acid. Yes, I did it. I dropped above 300 UGs. The first time I dropped it was around 220, 210, where I made a video about it. This is actually the last video I made, but this time I waited around 2 weeks, maybe like 15 days to be exact, to drop the second time. And this time I dropped 350 UGs. These were free Maya tabs, each of them had 120 micrograms, but I say around 350 because one of these tabs had like a cut-off corner that I used to test with the Ehrlich Regent. I'm not sure how I pronounce this. And this acid trip was really, really insane. It was so much different from the almost 2 tab trip. The third blotter changed everything. I dropped the acid around 8 p.m. It was like 15 minutes past 8. And I was really excited for the acid because it was a big dose. I was pretty unsatisfied last time. I dropped. It was good. I got visuals. It was nice, but I felt kind of the feeling where I wanted more. Like it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough with those 2 blotters. I wanted to trip harder. I wanted to have a higher, stronger experience, and I definitely got it. I don't regret it. It was strong. I feel like I could have gone more, like at that point where I survived. I could have gone more, but I am definitely satisfied from what I went through. And that being said, I was tripping alone. I didn't have a trip sitter with me when I was tripping 350 UGs alone for my second trip. So I guess that's a big point to me that I honestly made through it all without any harm. While tripping, I didn't really have, as I said, a trip sitter, but I had a fellow Redditor with me. We were talking on Reddit and we added each other on Snapchat and talked later on Facebook because it was better to video chat through Facebook. And we were just talking, had a good time. I was dropping 350 and he was dropping 400. So we were both at around the same dose, which was really, really cool and great. We could share the experience together. So I'd say around 40 minutes, the acid started kicking in. Things were getting like wavy, colorful, nice. It was overall just a nice experience. I got like the body high, my legs felt weird, I had to stretch, we were talking and we were just laughing our asses off, it was fun. And after maybe like 1 hour passed, or maybe 2 hours, just things basically kept on getting stronger and stronger. So maybe around 2 hours, because I completely lost track of time after a while. I honestly, like I had a clock with me that I looked from, like maybe every few hours I looked at it, but time was passing by so much differently. I totally lost track of it. I kept on getting these loops later on that I will get to. So let's start from the beginning. We were just chatting, having a good time. I think we did that for like 3-4 hours, but things were getting pretty insane after that time. We were just chatting. Shit is moving everywhere. I was really tripping balls. And the guy I met on the internet, he was smoking some weed on the acid, and I was like, I want to try that as well. At the beginning, I was kind of sketched out about this because I heard that it really like rockets your trip, really like boosts the trip. So I didn't really know if I want to do it, but after a while I was just like, fuck it, and I took my bong, loaded some weed and blasted off. I think I smoked like all that night, maybe like half a gram. So it was nothing really like crazy, but it was more than enough. It changed the whole experience for me. I'm not sure if I would get these loops if I didn't smoke, but around 1 a.m. I got this brilliant idea that I would leave home because my friend was at a party, not like the friend I was talking to, but my friend like I knew from my city. She was at a party and she asked me if I want to come, and I was just tripping an ass. I was like, hell yeah, I want to come. She was like calling me and I was like, okay, I'm coming. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. And she was out the building waiting for me, and I didn't even leave the house yet. I was just so disoriented. I was really not knowing what's going on. And for the people that tried acid before, I started getting these crazy loops at that point. It was like I didn't know if I said something. Like in my head, I felt that I said something, but I didn't actually say it. And the opposite way, that I said something, that I felt I said something, but I didn't. It is hard to explain if you haven't really got these loops, but let's say I was doing something on my phone, right? I was focused on the phone, doing something on the phone, and I turn, and in my head, I know where I'm going, like I'm gonna turn and I see a different place, but when turning, I'm actually at the same spot, nothing changes, so I turn, and the same thing happened, like I'm not going anywhere, it just keeps on like repeating itself like different dimensions and shit. So these loops really got me, but after maybe like 30-40 minutes of going through these loops, going back and forth, not knowing what I'm supposed to do, and the biggest thing was with water, okay? I didn't have any water with me. I was thinking kind of logically, I was like, I'm leaving the house. All stores will be closed now. I should bring some water with me, but the only water I had was like a 5-liter bottle, you know, those big ones. And I was like, people gonna look weird at me. I'm just walking around at like 1, 2 a.m. with a 5-liter bottle, so I decided, I gotta find a different bottle. But everyone was sleeping and I was walking around the house just like, I take this, nah, I can't do that. And I took the water, went back, and these loops really took me a long time. I'd say around 30 minutes, but it felt like forever to me. Hopefully I was looking at the time, so I kinda had the recognition how long things took, but that's when these loops started happening, but they went more and more in depth as the time was passing. So finally I left the house, I go out, leave, and while walking outside, it was just so much different. Everything, it was dark. I wasn't really scared, but things were really just the way acid works. Things were really like wavy and beautiful and like in a cartoon, I'd even say. And at that point, I started getting like these crazy, crazy visuals. My mind was able to, when I was thinking hard enough, when I looked at something I was thinking hard enough, I felt like this feeling in my head, like my eyes were twitching or some kind of tension in my head, extreme like tension, euphoria like tension in my head, that I could actually imagine things happen with my eyes open. It wasn't like close eye visuals. When my eyes were open and I looked at things, they actually became different and looked differently. Let's say as an example, when I was walking down the road, and you know, like sidewalk and road and the trees, everything was so perfectly symmetrical, and while having all that crazy imagination, I felt like in a video game when I was walking with my headphones going straight forward, felt like in Pac-Man or some shit. Like I had a totally different view. I wasn't like walking normally as you walk the road. For me it was like I was a fucking giant just walking, and in like if I was in Monopoly, just all these signs, road and fences, everything looked so fucking small, like I was a giant walking down the road and everything was so bright, shiny and cartoon-like. It was pretty fucking crazy. It was like a totally different world. I was really blown. I was like, holy shit, I thought I need to take more acid for that shit to happen, but I guess 350 was enough for me. And keep in mind, my tolerance was 0 pretty much, as what I heard, because last time I dropped around 200, so I think waiting 15 days should keep my tolerance at 0. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as I read, that's how the tolerance on acid drops. It's not like it's Molly, you gotta wait like 2-3 months, it just drops around 2 weeks. So let's get back to the road thing. I was walking the road and I kept on getting these crazy ass loops. I was walking a path to go somewhere, and I went there, I turned, and I'm in a totally different place. Like, I have no idea how I even got home after all. I had a great control over myself, but that was something else. These loops, everything was great about the acid. These loops were hella fun, but they confused me for the rest of my trip from maybe like 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. These loops were so intense that when turning, shit was just repeating all the time. I was looping and kept on forgetting if I said something or not, or if something happened. And when we were talking on a messenger, shit was just... I didn't know if I was saying something or not. I didn't know if he was saying something to me. It was really, really crazy. So I was going to that party, and at some point, maybe 2 a.m., almost 3 a.m., I got there. And I didn't really know what to do. I just got there. I was so fucked on acid. Like, the point when I was leaving the house was to actually go there and party with my friend. But when I came there, I pretty much just went to the place where the party was. Like, my friend came out to get me, and I was like, alright, I'm going home. Like, I just went back home. I just went to the party. Like, I didn't even go inside. I was like in front the building, and I went back home. And I think the walk normally takes me around 20-30 minutes to get there from my house, but I'm not kidding, it took me, it felt like few hours. It felt like few hours to me. It was a long walk. Especially these loops, they made me forget. They totally stopped the functioning of time. So when I was walking back home with all the crazy ass Pac-Man vision, Monopoly vision, walking back home with those crystal clear music overcharging my brain, I can't even explain the feeling unless you felt it. It was such an euphoric feeling, such an overload to the brain that I know Molly could handle this. I don't remember Molly hyping me up that much. It's a totally different feeling. I know you can't really complain, I know you can't really compare these two, but it was such a different feeling. I can't even explain it, you just gotta feel it. It was such a different emotion. So when I finally got home, somehow, I live in an apartment, and apartments have like codes, like you ring, you call, and they open a door. I somehow managed to type in a code, it was just moving, colorful and shit. I somehow managed to type it in and get in home. I typed in the code and the door opened. But when I was walking in the building, I heard in my head that the alarm is ringing, like the alarm in our house. And I remember that everyone was sleeping, so I was just like, holy shit, I'm about to wake everybody up and get in trouble. So I somehow came inside the house, locked the door. In my head, I knew that I'm going to get the phone that you pick up to the alarm control, the alarm system. Pick up the phone and press the key to open it, put it down, and when I turn, I'm in a totally different room. Like, none of it even happened. Everything was just imagined in my head. None of it happened. I turned after putting the phone and I was not even there. That didn't even happen. I was so confused. That was all in my head. That never happened. I was so blown because I felt the phone being in my head, but I actually didn't have it in my head. It didn't even ring. So I stand there at the entrance and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? I'm so happy I went back home because what is going on? So somehow I didn't wake up anyone while walking in the house, just being loud as hell, opening the door. Take off my shoes, just throw my jacket on the floor. I'd be like, I gotta get to my room and chill. I went to my room. I think I smoked another 1 or 2 bongs, just poured a little bit weed in there. And I kept on that definitely boosted me. I kept on getting loops, but they were even stronger at that point after I smoked even more. They were even stronger. I'm just sitting there in front of my PC, tried to call my friend and talk to him, but I was pretty much non-responsive. I couldn't really know if I said something to him or not, so we were talking for a while, but then I hung up. I was like, damn, bro, I gotta listen to some music or something, because she was tripping. I didn't know what's going on, especially after that phone thing. So I'm lying in my bed, I turn off the computer, I'm lying there with my phone around 4 or 5 a.m. and I'm watching some videos. And let me tell you this, I'm listening to the video with my headphones. I'm sure that the volume is up because the volume was up, I was hearing it, and from time to time the noise just totally cancelled. Like I couldn't hear shit. It was like my brain was generating some kind of noise, like some kind of buzzing in my head that made the sound from my phone totally muted out. It was just completely muted. I couldn't hear anything. I heard everything in the background, but I could just somehow just mute the sound in and out. So it was just quiet for a few seconds and then it went on and just cut. And it wasn't the video refreshing. The video kept on rolling all the time. It didn't stop. The volume just stopped, kept on getting muted. I didn't know LSD could do this. And I'm lying in my bed. I look at the roof and there's geometric patterns everywhere, like a fucking spider web, but like geometric, like just on my roof. It wasn't scary, it was looking modern and fancy geometric patterns, and it was like on my roof and colors were changing and it was like kind of moving. And I'm lying there like, holy shit. So I put on some music, lay in my bed, closed my eyes. Of course, I didn't fall asleep. I was just lying there, listening to the music. My eyes were closed and the visuals I had were really insane. I can't even explain them. I can't really fully remember what they even were, because I was listening to the music, getting that overwhelming euphoria feeling where my eyes were twitching and my brain felt like it was frying itself from the inside. It was such a strong feeling. And after some time, it was around I think 6 a.m. or a little bit past 6 a.m. I somehow fell asleep. I don't remember anything from my dreams, no clue what I dreamt of, but I'm pretty sure that it definitely affects your dreams. For sure. Definitely must affect your dreams. And the next day I woke up around 11-12 a.m. I didn't feel any bad. It's not like a calm down you get from Molly. I just woke up and I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was so confused. I had to lie in my bed for a moment and just think about reality. What actually happened? What is reality? What is reality if you totally lose track of time and you don't know if you said something or if something happened? Like, what is even reality? This is something so weird to explain. I don't even know what to think about this. That was the trip. I was tripping alone. I had a great time. I still have a good contact with the fellow redditor. Hopefully we can make this happen some other time. That would be simply great. If we could make this happen. We just gotta wait some time. You can't be doing this too often. Gotta wait for that tolerance. So gotta have a good time, but gotta wait long enough to drop the acid. 350 is definitely intense, but I really loved how overwhelmingly much it was. Many people would never go this far, but I really wanna try like 420 next time, like 3.5 tabs, which would be definitely like this, but like even stronger, because 60 can make a huge difference on such doses. We will see how it'll be, and this is it. See you guys later.